This is A-Game. Fast acting, long lasting, with no side effects.
Hey all my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel, where we embrace our femininity, increase our womanly value, and celebrate our brothers. So join me on our feminine journey to learn, heal, and grow. Hey there, my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel. I am your host, femininity coach, and author of the Crimson Cure, and this is my perspective. So, are we still going to, hold on, because I really hate when they just start. My apologies if you heard that. But anyway, so we're talking about you stay falling for the okie doke, Black women. They're doing it again, and they're going to keep doing it until you don't fall for it anymore. What am I talking about? I'm talking about this $850 that's in a very specific area. So I'm just going to read the article, and then I'll be back with my perspective. All right. So guaranteed income program launched in Georgia to give $850 a month to more than 600 Black women. Program was announced by the Georgia Resilience and Opportunity Fund. Let me cut this off. Atlanta, a new guaranteed income program in Georgia will provide more than 600 Black women across the state with $850 per month for at least 2 years. A community-based organization administering the program announced this week. The program, called In Her Hands, will distribute out of a total fund of more than $13 million. The Georgia Resilience and Opportunity Fund, GRO Fund, said it will initially target 200 women in Atlanta's Old Fourth Ward neighborhood, where City Council Representative Amir Faruqi has been working to establish a pilot basic income program. On Twitter, both Faruqi and the GRO Fund highlighted how Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., a native of the Old Fourth Ward, had once called for a guaranteed income. This initiative, designed with resident input, will transform lives and help us understand the personal and policy benefits of income stability for our most vulnerable. We'll look at mental health outcomes and employment and career choices, among others. Now, let me just stop right there. If you're giving somebody $850 a month, and it's only going to be a total of 600 Black women, not people, not just 600 Black poor people, but 600 Black women, and that's always the case, then how you are simultaneously talking about career choices? If they had career choices, don't you think they would need $850 a month? Like that's some big time money? Anyway, the program's executive director, Hope Wollensack, quoted Dr. King in a tweet. "We found economic insecurity needed to be combated at the root, like MLK said in 1968. I'm now convinced the simplest approach will prove to be the most effective. The solution to poverty is to abolish it directly by a now widely discussed measure, the guaranteed income." In Her Hands initiative will not only provide greater economic stability for program participants, but will generate much needed learnings on policies to advance an economy of shared prosperity and experiment. The monthly income will be no strings attached, so you won't deny it, to allow individuals and families are women and children, to invest in what they need, from providing for basic needs, keeping a roof over their heads, paying for medical care, to investing in their family and future and maintain agency over their lives while doing so. $850 don't do all that. Anyway, there is no application process for the program. Identified candidates are being invited to, participate. Funds for the program appear to come from a mix of private donors and sponsors, as well as local and federal funds. Give directly, a donation service, is continuing to accept contributions to the fund. As of Thursday morning, it showed nearly $10 million have been raised, enough so far to fund 429 incomes, with another 221 still in need of funding. Okay. So they want to give you $850 a month for 2 years. 2 years is long enough to gather data in an experimental way. And they are using the most impoverished, I'm assuming that would be a very poor area of Atlanta, where they are not even doing like an application thing. They are inviting certain families or a certain number of women, and I guess women with children, because when they say family for Black people, they don't mean man, woman, child. They mean woman, child. When you pour enough to need $850 a month to where you don't question where it come from and who giving it to you and why they just up and decided to give you $850 with so-called no strings attached, they don't want nothing from you and they're not asking you no questions, then you got to understand that there's a point to that. And you probably don't even want to know the point to that, because if you did know the point to that, you probably wouldn't take the $850. But you are presumably in such a destitute situation that you would take it even if they told you some crazy stuff was behind that $850. And it's just enough in a poor woman's hands to tell some man somewhere to kick rocks. Now, again, not only is 2 years enough time to gather experimental data about how a guaranteed base income is gonna work out for people, what that allows them to do and what that allows them not to do. You notice that they said very basic things: keep a roof over your head, meet your real basic needs. Nothing about thriving, nothing about overcoming anything, nothing about overcoming poverty, because $850 does not overcome anybody's poverty. There are homeless people that would not be helped with just $850 a month. Period, point blank. It actually costs you to be homeless in America. You don't have it, but it costs you. Anyway, not only is the 2 years enough to be experimental, nobody's questioning why they decided to target poor Black women, not poor Black men, not poor Hispanic people, not poor nobody else, poor Black women in Atlanta, to give them $850 a month for 2 years. Nobody's asking questions about that. Why 2 years? Why for the next 2 years? What's going to happen in 2 years? See, we are still having some big time effects from C-19. And I don't know if nobody noticed it or not, but we're in trouble. Now, just because you have the comfort of your home and the comfort of your cell phone and the comfort of your internet, you're allowing that to be your opiate so that you don't have to understand the issues and the problems that this economy is actually having. What happens after 2 years when that money run out and they don't give you $850 anymore? See, it's just enough to get you comfortable, then rip the rug out from under your feet. The biggest issue is that the reason why they didn't pick another demographic is because Black women have a unique situation on the outlook that they have with Black men. See, Black women don't value Black men. We fight them. We don't like them. We tell them to kick rocks. And ultimately, interestingly enough, we think the only value of a Black man that he can bring to us is monetary. So Black men are only $1. And if the government is going to give you those dollars, you're more comfortable telling black men to do what? Get out your face, kick rocks. You don't need him, because black women only value black men for whatever money he can bring. She fails to understand the function of men, and that a black man provides covering, which extends well beyond the financial means. He's a cover. He's actually when you are covered, when you have a husband, when you have fathers, brothers, whomever, black men in your family that care about you, that are around you, that is a whole deterrent for other men to not bother you, because they have to contend with other men to get to you or to get to what you have. And men think long and hard before they want to confront another man that's going to challenge them and possibly this end in violence or death, what they trying to do. See, a hunter always looks for the easier prey. The best predators look for the easy prey, not the hard prey. When lionesses hunt, they don't go for the biggest wildebeest. They go for the sick one. They go for the baby. They go for the one lagging behind the herd. They don't want to deal with the whole herd. They just want to pick one off. That's it. They're not trying to deal with none of that other smoke. And that go for any predator, 4 legs or 2. And men understand that only in the most desperate of times will they challenge each other to that degree, willingly, openly. So if we're going to have economic hardship for the next 2 years, which I foresee that happening, you really think that you can rely on a basic income from a government that's already in economic trouble, but that's also in an arms race, girding itself for potential war with China? What has China always been to the United States for decades and decades now? Its biggest supplier of all kinds of goods and services. Because the United States did not necessarily remain a manufacturer, we became consumers of everybody else's manufacture because it was cheaper to outsource the work rather than pay. Right? So now they're going to have to think of something. Well, let's think of a basic income, but how long that's going to last? And that $850 ain't going to help you when this dude's at the door bamming to get in and do whatever to you and take what you have. That $850 doesn't protect you. But again, black women have a very unique situation when we deal with our men. They don't want us to be covered when everybody else is battening down the hatches because they see the storm clouds coming. Black women don't. Right? Everybody else see the storm clouds. Everybody else is finding the cover in their port before the storm hit, except for black women. Since we think black men are only money, the government is giving money. So we could tell black men so we could continue to not be covered by them. You see, if they give us money, we'll feel comfortable. And if we feel comfortable, if a woman feels comfortable, she's not going to feel the need for the presence of a black man. But what else does he provide aside from monetary cover? Physical cover, emotional cover, spiritual cover. And if he's not there, we remain vulnerable to every other problem that arises that's not money. Talking about they fighting poverty at the root. No, you're not. Poverty being fought at the root is us getting back together as a family unit, like everybody else. See, all the other women are taking cover under their men. because they didn't trade on their men, feminism or not. Black women aren't going to be able to take cover because even if we would have, somebody see the writing on the wall, which is where you're getting these apologies from, and they don't want us to come together. Do you understand the okie doke? They don't want Black women coming meeting Black men, no way, no how, no halfway, trying to talk about what we need to come back together and do. So in order to keep us from doing that, they'll just throw us money because we think comfort and security is in a dollar. Sound off in the comment section. Let me know what you think. Like, share, subscribe to the channel if you have not. Once again, I'm your host, The Crimson Cure, and this was my perspective. Bye-bye, Crimsonites.
Hey guys, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. And if you've got more to say on the topic, leave a comment down below. Also, don't forget to support our sponsor who so graciously supports this channel by clicking the description box and the link for A-Game at agameherbal.com. You can go ahead and get a 10% discount off of your next purchase using the code Kendra10. This has been yet another Crimson Cure production, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.